So the people that can afford to pay me to mentor them, they don't need the mentorship. Because they are already rich. The people that need the mentorship, if I make them pay, they can't. So that's why we are bringing this for free. All right. So please put your hands together for my team that is putting all this together. All right. So today we are speaking on a subject entitled Balancing Financial Goals and Mental Health. And still difficult to see, isn't it? I wanted to do Can you guys read? You can read, right? Okay, good. This is the biggest I can zoom from this iPad. So what I want us to do is, we want to, first of all, before I go into my presentation, I want everybody to do an assessment of themselves. So we are going to use a tool called the Patient Health Questionnaire. It is a questionnaire with 9 questions. These questions, they take 3 minutes to answer, and you can put your total and it gives you marks. Those marks will give you where you are. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the first rule is, do not copy your neighbor. Okay? And so I'm going to read some of the questions. So it gives us 4 options. Those options there. Not at all, several days, more than half the days, nearly every day. Okay? So for each question, it will ask you and say, over the past 2 weeks, how many weeks? 2 weeks, which is equal to 14 days. Over the past 14 days, have you been bothered by any one of the following symptoms or following problems? Okay? And it will ask, have you been sleeping? And you have to answer, not at all. If it has not been happening, you answer not at all. So your answer there will be a 0. Okay? Then you have, if it's happening several days, which is between 1 and 6 days, you give yourself 1 mark. Is that okay for that question? If it's happening more than half the days, which is between 7 days to 10 days, you give yourself a 2. 3 is nearly every day. It means it's happening for 11 days to 14 days. Did you get that marking scheme? All right? Okay. All right. So I want you to just put, so let's start with the first question, isn't it? And everybody, we're going to go through this in 3 minutes, then I go for my presentation. I'll also give you the marks so that you can see who needs to see me after this class. Okay? All right? Shall we start? Let's start with number 1. Over the past 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by any one of these symptoms? Little interest and pleasure in doing things. Give yourself a mark and write it down, or put it +1 in your calculator, or +3 or plus whatever, because we're going to add all the marks for the 9 questions. Yes, everybody answered that one? Okay. Over the past 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by any one of these? Feeling down, depressed, and hopeless. Feeling down, depressed, and hopeless. Let's answer quickly. Number 3, over the past 2 weeks again, how have you been bothered by any one of these? Trouble falling asleep or staying awake. Trouble falling asleep or staying awake. How many days? Just right. Are you guys, some of you, I'm not seeing you. All right. Number 4, feeling tired and having a little energy. You just feel tired, no energy to do anything. How many days? If it's not happening, it's a 0. And if it's happening, the days will give you the marks. Okay. Poor appetite or overeating. Poor appetite or overeating. How many days because both of them can be signs of stress. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Feeling bad about yourself, that you are a failure and you have let your family down. You've let people down. How many days has that been happening? Trouble concentrating, number 7, such as when this was watching TV, you can't even watch, you can't even do anything, can't even finish anything, just trouble concentrating and forgetting things. Number 8, moving slowly and speaking slowly, that other people notice. You know, when I'm on Mangwana. Murgudu apa phone, all right. All right. Or unusually restless or fidgety. Please do smile. We'll be posting pictures on online. And our photographer is Billy Stan. If you need some photography, that's the guy who does this for us. Okay. Okay. Number 9, thoughts that you are better off dead. Or you go to sleep and say, you know what? I wish I would not wake up today. You don't want to kill yourself, but you just wish things will just be over. All right. Okay. Now, I want you to add those marks together. What is the total of your marks that you got on each question? Just add them up. Just add them up. Okay. Now, you can get this questionnaire online. It's there. There's an online version, and it will just, and you just answer, it will give you, and it will actually tell you what. So, I'm going to give you the answers. Now, don't show anybody, okay? This is your personal. So, if you scored 0 to 4, it means 0 to 4 points. You've got nothing that is bothering you. You're cool. But if you scored 0, you're lying. You're not bothered by that you don't have water in your house. You're not bothered that all the roads are blocked. You're not bothered that Zesa Irugenda, you're not bothered by anything, you know, so it means you didn't take it seriously, okay? But if you scored 3, 4, it means that you don't have stress, you are cool with everything, your life is all right. If you scored between 5 and 9, it shows that you are under pressure. Everybody say, I'm under pressure. But I'm still keeping it together. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So between 5 and 9, it means that you're under pressure. You can feel the pressure. All those symptoms that we're talking about, they are symptoms of pressure, but you are. Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right. So this one, if you're like that, you're good. You're in good space. Okay. 10 and above. Mawanatang. Is that okay? So 10 to 14 or 10 to 19, we call it moderate. Okay? And these people actually need help. So if you scored more than 10, you actually need professional help. You're under pressure and certain things, you've got symptoms, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, things are bad. If you scored 20 and above, it's severe. You need immediate intervention. You even need treatment or even admission. All right. And one of the reasons why, is that okay? Did you get that? All right. So it helps you, and this status can change. You can, in 2 weeks, right now you might be feeling okay, but in 2 weeks if something happens, that number can change. So you can actually do this weekly to find where you are. And if you find where you are, you get help. And the reason why we are saying is that we have seen lots of people in this city killing themselves, entrepreneurs hanging themselves, shooting themselves, people drinking for all kinds of pressure. And that's why we are here, because your mental health is important for your success. Is that okay? I know some people didn't come today and say, mental health. But how can you be a success if your mind is not together? It's impossible. So one of the things that we have to train you is to help you to keep your minds together as you do these things. Is that okay? All right. So, some few statistics from Berkeley University in California. There's a study which was done which found that founders and entrepreneurs, 72 of them had mental health issues. Now don't look at your neighbor. WHO actually says that 1 in 4 adults at any one time, they have a mental disorder. Now, the reason why it's so difficult in the African context is that when we think of mental health, we are thinking of somebody who's eating from the bin, who has not bathed for 100 years, and are you hearing what I'm saying? But there's so much more about mental health, and the commonest mental conditions is actually anxiety and depression, and those things hit entrepreneurs, and you're going to see. In fact, some of you have been hit, or some of you who are here, you're actually hit. I know of an entrepreneur that I was talking to about with my wife, Tishinya. Just like you talk about me, I also talk about you. Of course. Tit for tat. Yeah, I also talk for you. I also talk about you. Yeah. The day you stop talking about me, I will also stop talking about you. The day you stop doing a Poloni challenge, I also do. All right. So we have seen an increase in alcohol abuse among entrepreneurs. There's also an increase of times 10 factor from the general population of bipolar. There's also a times 2 chance that you might be depressed if you are an entrepreneur. I bet there's no entrepreneur who has not gone through depression. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And you're going to see, those are the days that you cannot even wake out of your blankets. Are you hearing what? You can't even get out of bed. You can't even get out of bed. And some entrepreneurs are suicidal and they have thoughts of just killing themselves because they've had enough and say, you know what, I'm tired. And some of the people are here. All right? So, and anxiety is times 4. So, these things are real. These things are real. Okay? These things are real. So, what are the emotional issues that entrepreneurs get? Sometimes you are confused. You don't know what to do. Should I close? Should I continue? Should I go? Should I not? And you've got no one to ask. Sometimes you're angry. Feel like throwing, you feel like punching somebody. Yeah, those are emotions that you go through. Sometimes you're hopeless. Dr. Chirisa always tells you, you're going to be a millionaire, and this is just a millionaire. What Tarisa Marine Mongonas not Zig right or Sadom Burbat. Are you hearing what I'm saying? My US Urungo Bata good after work counter, you need to disinfect your hands. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Sometimes you're burnt out, just tired. Sleepless nights. You're trying to push those who are producing things which kurunga men zone which peka matemba which sunga food which just say not sleeping. You know, we were just talking with my wife. Have you seen that sometimes if you're an entrepreneur, you put a whole lump sum of money and the money starts to trickle back in cents and you wonder what where's ever had that experience? Sometimes you're just sad. I will tell you something that happened to me when we were building one of our hospitals. We built the hospital. When we were about to open it, sewage then flooded the whole hospital. So I'm being called. There's sewage in the hospital that we're about to open. So I ran. Surely there was sewage. That waiter said, city council. And then the city council said, listen, this sewage system, yakato blockers, we unblock. So the waiter says, the only thing that you can do is to put a septic tank. Then, but the thing is, you cannot put a septic tank for my shops. So I went to the town clerk office for 60 days, for 2 months, knocking. Then they finally said, so sometimes you have to get things to move. So we were given permission. But now the hospital is delayed to open for 2 months. We then put the septic tank. Chera septic tank. Kova kwanaya. Kwanaya kudaro. Septic tank rera. Roba radirikira. Apa raka daiso raka sarani mvura. We are going to go. We are more than septic tank rera. Ranons radirika. Dashuka pa septic tank. Radirika, and there's nothing. So the guys are saying, because you are the entrepreneur, what do we do? Then I said, and that's exactly what we did. The hospital is working. But if you are not careful as an entrepreneur, you go through this and you can go depressed. Because you've got a plan, but your plan never works according to the plan. You see, have you seen that? That don't know what a plan. 2,000. What a man has 2,000. I hear him saying, because it never works according to plan. But that is entrepreneurship. You have to get used to it. Am I talking to somebody? So some people will feel sad, anxious, helpless, worthless, and suicidal. In the stars, are you hearing what I'm saying? So these things are real. These things are real. And I'm looking at your ages. The saddest ages in life is between the ages of 25 and 45. Because during those ages, somewhere along the way, you are going to lose somebody, you're going to bury somebody, you're going to bury your parents, you're going to bury your sibling, you're going to bury a friend. Something bad is going to happen. So this is when you start to experience bad things through people, via people, and all those kind of things. Whatever the case might be. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And they are trying to run a what? A business through all that chaos. So this is the time when people, the fairy tale ending starts to fade. I'm gonna get married with its Prince Charming and its six-packy and also not no. Urugaram one room and you can zairu to netsa murugu. You know what I'm saying? Reality starts to set in. So the fairy saga, in fact, I think in this I say something. I didn't try. I've tried, but I've come to the conclusion. None of us are depression. Life. Hopes are shattered. You start this business and you are so hopeful and you think, let me tell you something. Because most entrepreneurs, they never tell their sad stories. We always think that everything that they did flew from the first day. Do you know how many businesses I have started and I have closed? So I opened a hospital in Aspendale Park. That new park. Borrowed the Yogum Fagose. But all right. So I opened a nice clinic there. Nice clinic. Put a lot of money. Brought things from China, containers. And I was expecting that this thing is going to push some money. And then the resident says, we don't want anybody from outside. That killed my business. Because there were 2 little people in there to sustain the clinic. So it was a 24-hour. I'd spent over 75,000. I had to close it. So I just told my team, this is not working, close it. Where do we put the things? I said, take the things, put in the garage. Pastor D was complaining, hey, are you hearing what I'm saying? So, has anybody closed the business before? Hands up. Hands up. Put them high. Don't be shy. You know, I closed businesses. You are not alone. And it's a matter of time. I am just preparing you. You see, we need to just to be open with. That's the purpose of this meeting today, to tell you that you're going to go through some stuff. But I want you to know that you don't need many things to succeed. You only need to succeed in one thing. And when that thing succeeds, it covers all the losses that you have done. It won't even matter. You only need to succeed in one. But the journey to have that thing that succeeds might take some few failures here and there, and you have to stomach them and say, you know what? Zaramba. But I have to continue. That's entrepreneurship. Or else go and look for a job. Because I can tell you, so don't go. Say, and guess what saved me? My businesses. Then I said, no, it's worth it to start a business, because the only thing that will really save your life is something that you control. Whatever you don't control, you are not in control. So a lot of people give up their divorces, kids, losses, mover, zoka. But don't let it get into your mind and tell you that you are a failure. I want to say to somebody, just because you failed does not make you a failure. I use failing as lessons. Lesson number 1. If I fail again, lesson number 2. But I am not a failure. Don't let the event be your identification. Am I talking to somebody? Am I talking to somebody here? All right. So, how do people cope? Beer, drugs, sex, church, social media. And church, I can say it because I'm a pastor. Because we don't want to go to church, but it's because I don't try to cope with life. The church, I just want to that no matter. I don't go try to say. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So people are doing. So where are you? How are you coping with your own disappointments? How are you coping with your own disappointments? Risk of entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, you with the risk of public shame. Because you tell people, I'm starting a business, I'm leaving this job. What is sure? And when people say that, they are waiting for you to fail. They don't even want you, Because even your parents will tell you, please, that the time I was building my hospital. He said, no, don't build your hospital. Tango atenga imba. But no, hospital imba. And now that hospital, yandivagira zimba. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So there's a phase where you need to concentrate on your business, or else you will finish the house and you'll be broke in the house. If you some people go to brokers, vari mumbai, kana ndeva atombo sheva chivaka. Urukuitechi ndirikuvaka. So, I hear him say, build your business. Build your business. Public shame. And people will tell you, I told you so. People are gonna, your family, your spouse, your old classmates, your old workmates are gonna tell you, good, you're making a mistake. So be ready for that. It's a risk. But that's what it is. I still remember when I started my business, I had friends, other doctors that were in the same class. Me, I was saving my money. Then one of them said to me, Iwe Chirisa, do you ask uda utenga chikopo kopo? Chimbojga mari yako. I knew exactly what I was doing. Remember what I said in one of my 10 years of sacrifice? You have to have that. And at that time, people will be ridiculing you. There are some people who went to work, and in those work years, while I was building my business, it seems as if they had gone far. But when your business succeeds, you overtake. And then they will know that you are the one who is far. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So, but you have to be ready. And also, when you are an entrepreneur, you must be ready to be alone. Because be ready to be misunderstood. Because our parents and everybody else around you, the narrative that they were told to succeed is Dzidza and Auchkoro Osenzra Murungu. Then was Tamar. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We are never told Dzidza, wait a business. Rago. If you look at the Indians, they are told Dzidza, Wotange business. Murungu, Dzidza, Utange business. Have you seen what Marungu Nema Indians? We know Ombonya went up my investor gone. My invest history go to get down Mr. Abdullah Kumbrobasa Chimfonfo. Because they were taught, learn and start businesses. All right? Things will go wrong. I can't go for one day. Oh yeah. Tell that person you are lying. Unless can you watch wakafara. So in now my level I don't see any. Just say levels. So the biggest amount in Dagavarwa was 300,000 US. Those are my levels. Then the second biggest in Dagavarwa was 40,000. Are you going to say? Dollar. You hear these guys, hey, somebody abai wane banga for his money again, marry dollar. Today you are still holding on. You are still holding on. Good. Hey, there's always now good. Listen, every entrepreneur akatombera say akavarwa. And takavata dzidza. So when ansha varika, so what say? So I'm happy good now ansha varika because then I varika now. Mnyanga don't know varaka na mitaga. Because elizaka vara ndichirishi. Dijine marishoma. So it's good okavarwa 1,000 or 2,000. I've got enough stories about kuvarwa. Let me tell you another one. We started a company in the ICT. It was an ICT company. So I would invest. So this guy got you know how it is. Good. I've got money. You've got skill. Got this guy and got skill. Then I've to atapua order. Yokutenga computers at that time. Epa spaces 15 computers. So you had to go to South Africa. We gave the person money to South Africa. No scratch, no black eye. And you know what he did? I've let the company down. Then I'm going, okay, it's all right. Dakavarwa. Kana sito varwa iwo uchavarwa. Kanoga varwa as you the business is not for you. It's part of the business lesson. You have to pay school fees in your failures. It's a matter of time. You have to pay. If you don't, you're still going to have to pay your school fees. Am I talking to somebody? So I've lost businesses. I had to shut down. I had to restart. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Can you handle that? Do you still want to be me? Do you still want to be rich? The thing is that you see people, flexing on social media, but they never tell you the things that they went through to get there. So I'm preparing your mind that entrepreneurship is good, the result is good, but it's tough. It's not easy. Whoever told you that entrepreneurship is easy lied. Liar. It's not. It's not easy. But it's good. So me and my wife, in a week's time, will be in the States, traveling 3 places, going to Las Vegas, because we are entrepreneurs. Do you think when I'm there, I'm thinking, Dagambo Faro? No. Hello? So the result is worth it, but the effort is real. Am I talking to somebody? Okay. So don't stay down. Dust yourself up. Try again. Every loss is school fees for a lesson that you have to learn. For the lesson. And it's better for you to learn those lessons early than later. How do I stay motivated? How do I stay motivated? I stay motivated because I'm grateful. Sometimes things can be going so wrong, but I just become grateful for simple things. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that I can still have a meal. I'm grateful. When you stop being grateful, or if you are not grateful, in fact, I urge every entrepreneur, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing to do to infuse your day with positivity is be grateful. Look for something to be grateful about, even if when things are going wrong. But let me tell you this, because what depresses a person are his thoughts or his interpretation of an issue. So when I'm grateful, I am replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts. That's why it is important for you to have those grateful moments early in the morning, and also have those moments where you speak positive things about your life and about your future, because you are replacing all the negative things. So it's not some metaphysics. It is actually psychology. I teach my patients who are depressed to focus on things that are positive and speak them to themselves about those positive things. I am rich. I am blessed. I'm having a great day today. I am favored. Yet are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm gonna walk so majestically into town. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You have to be positive. You have to be grateful. I also want you to focus on your life. One of the things that we are seeing, which is depressing a lot of entrepreneurs, is that there is so much comparison with people that are above you, above your age, or even people that were in your class. But here is what I say. If you see my hand, all these fingers are important, but all of them are not equal in length. There is no way we are going to be the same. And you have to be comfortable with who you are. There are some people that are richer than me, who will continue to be richer than me. God bless them. There is their money. And then I'm going to have my own portion and have my own life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And also, I also say that if a mango tree has got mangoes, they don't all ripe at the same time. But your time is coming. So focus on your life. What I want you to focus on is progress. Are you progressing? So I usually say, each year, what have I done to become better? So if I say for the next 5 years, I'm going to become better, IQ accrue something, develop my business. Every time I'm growing. By the time 10 years finishes, because you know what entrepreneurs do? You underestimate what you can do over time in 10 years, and you overestimate what you can do in 1 year. You can't do it all in 1 year, but you can do almost everything in 10 years. So I make sure that I am progressing. So I don't care. Say, I'm doing my own life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I don't compare. I make sure that I'm progressing. Are you progressing? Ask your neighbor, are you progressing? All right. Well, the other thing that you need to do is to find a mentor, because the purpose of mentor is to give you speed, is to give you, is to bounce. So I always say that and you can ask my wife, what I do is I have an invisible board. An invisible board. In that board, there's an accountant, there's a lawyer, there's a business person, there's this. They do not know it. But before I make any major decisions, I bounce and talk to them. By the time I make a decision, it's not my decision, it's a board decision. Most of you make life decisions and business decisions based on one mind. Yet you can have 10 minds speak into a decision. And the quality of decisions is then seen by the results. Am I talking to somebody? So have some people. That's the purpose of even coming here. You locate who is a lawyer, you locate who is a doctor, you locate who is a banker, you locate, are you hearing him say, don't just go, what it is. You connect with somebody so that you start to build connections that will help you to make better decisions about your business and about your future. So I have a board, and they do not know it, and I don't have to necessarily pay them. But I've got people that I bounce things. Before I make any decisions, we discuss. Am I talking to somebody? Have a community, have friends. One of the things that will happen is that if you will die alone, if you're I know, no, hey, yes, but you need people. Can you all know food? Are you hearing what I'm saying? So, have a community. You cannot be friends with everybody, but be friends with somebody. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's important. It's important. And one of the things that I also do to keep myself is to find what I call my dials. So everybody has got a dial. And I can see your dial by what you do. So if you see a young man, an old car with brand new rims, and Farama wheels. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you put balloon wheels, more than police squad. You say, you think the car is powered by the radio. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's fine. So that's what makes him tick. If you see your wife living shopping bags and chakuri and shoes, that's her dial. That's what makes it. That's her cocaine. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Those no muta afile bo. So everybody has got something that makes them feel good. So you have to identify your own. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So for me, I like traveling. I like going to new places, trying new things. That's what I like. I like adventure. You get what I'm saying? So I use my money for those kind of things. So when I'm down, I go for a trip. So that I feel good. It's what energizes me. What energizes you? Now, a lot of people in church, it's okay. If it's what that energizes you, it's fine. Go. Because you have to do something that energizes you. What is it that energizes you? Most people don't know. But you need it so that you motivate yourself. Am I talking to somebody? If you don't have a church, find a church to help you, especially if it's more positive, empowering messages. It's something that you do. If you don't have a church, you can join us. We are Wisdom City. If you've got your church, please go to your church. Okay? But if you don't have, this would be a nice church to join. Entrepreneurs and marriage. Now, marriage Marriage will put pressure on your business. Because your business will take time. And sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things, certain events. And you have to sacrifice certain luxuries that are needed in the house. So that's why I say you need an understanding spouse. Either wife or husband, they have to understand. Or you have to make them understand, or else there'll be chaos. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you are married, if you're just about to start a business, sit your family down, your wife and your kids, and tell them that, guys, we are now starting a business, things might be tight. Tell them and give them boundaries and expectations and how things are going to be. Don't just say things are going to remain the same and things don't remain the same. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you need to do that. You need to have that. But the problem is that we don't. Today I was with a certain guy. We were going to see some certain land. And he said, you know what? I lost my house because I put it as security in a bank for 50,000 and I didn't tell my wife. And my wife only knew when the house was now being taken and we were being kicked out. So, yeah, because business renews a pressure for marriage. No, business has a pressure for marriage. Do you have a pressure for marriage, Yako? Because you did not tell your wife. So there are things that you need to tell. And when you see that you've got something that you don't want to tell, it means something is wrong about that thing. You understand what I'm saying? Let me help some men here that are married. Your wife will probably know. Just bounce. Oh, but I understand the business, but they've got an intuition that they have. They can tell you all the time. Pastor D even was something about her business at that time. Now she's in business. She told me, baby. Hey. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay. So please discuss. If you are married, your spouse is a helpmate. It's another brain. Bounce the ideas. Don't say I understand the business. Let the 2 cents give you something. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So if you don't handle if you don't handle the marriage can destroy the business, or the business can destroy the marriage. And I've seen so many people, and you've seen it as well. If you're unmarried, I urge you to work hard now before you get married. Okay? And it's easy for somebody to find you in the stride of business. Because when Pantongo Pindantongo goes out, Uruja said, I hear him say, but so you have to start to run. No, I'm being real. But so many people coming with, no, Zada business. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay, so if you're already running, so that when the person don't start and say, because it's your business, anytime. God was there. There's a routine. Business is real business. But I know business ranks are Mirandes or Kona Nafuna. You. Now, and school upon but away we are so you have to train the person who's coming into the business philosophy and the business so that you won't have problems. Okay? If you are a guy and you are rich, money attracts women. And because we've got money, you can attract the woman that you want, but not the woman that you need. Can I actually tell you something? No, because I really want to help you. Do you know why prostitutes end up with the rich people? Because the rich people want what the prostitutes are giving, but they don't want them. Because Angane, the body and the sex, but are not the character you could keep her home. But you know what I'm saying? So when you choose your spouse, you have to choose a spouse who has got the character that you need and can build you and to build your business. Whatever you get by money, you sustain by money. And a lot of you are poorer right now because you got that chick, because you flash some money and you have to continuously flash instead of investing into your business. If you are a chick, it's good to go for the person with the money. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But don't go. You also be empowered because the person with money has got options. You can be left anytime. You are beautiful, but there are also other beautiful girls. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And most of us, we are just average. Jungori just average, and there are just many averages. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So don't when I miss Zimbabwe, Vashoma. Cities. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And that's what, and I'm telling you the truth. So you also have to build your own capacity. I always say, then we go for question and answer. I always say, if you go into a relationship with nothing and you don't give anything, you'll be treated like furniture in the house. You'll be moved around. And when you are used, you are thrown out. So women, we teach, and Pastor D teaches, that's why we've got the jewels where we say, you have to bring your game on. You have to bring your game on. Murumu wako ngakukwereta mari. Chaiyo. Not $5. No, ngakukwereta kana 10,000. Babe, sha, uzandipatide bought 10,000. But no, all right. And then to a box. But you've got your own money. You get what I'm saying? The best scenario for me, to those who are not married, is to grow together. To grow together. If you are serious and in a relationship and you're an entrepreneur, bring your spouse to be or your fiance to the mentorship program so that both your minds grow, so that the changes that you experience, one does not outgrow the other. Okay? Because after the good sex, when your mind do not click, you won't want to be with the person. Because we must have something to talk about after the quickie. True? Oh yeah. Then you have to deal with bad employees. And here's my principle. The longer you maintain somebody who you don't like, you are just perpetuating your pain. There's a principle called knowing what I now know. What should I do? If I know that this person is not a performer, I will catch you. In fact, paying you to get you out will actually be more profitable than keeping you, and you destroy the whole team. But if you do it legally, if you're a big business, if you're a small, just I hear what I'm saying, and move. I hear what I'm saying. So I say, when you're big, you formalize things. When you're still small, just cut and move. You will have some bad people. And those bad people, when they are looking for a job, the gratitude is not commensurate to the output. When you're an entrepreneur, I'm looking for output. I'm looking for somebody who can deliver. If you cannot deliver, you're not my friend. In fact, if you're not delivering, you are an enemy to my business and you're an enemy to my destiny. So I deal ruthlessly, not ugly. I fire people who still will like me, still you use my services, but you are fired. I'll fire you nicely. I even say in church, I fire you in the name of Jesus. But you are fired. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You have to learn to get rid of people that are pulling you down. But you don't just get rid of people. You tell the person, my friend, you look and you say, why is this person not performing? Is it because they are not taught, you train them? Is it because they were not given orders, you give them? Is it because if you give them what is necessary for them to perform and still they don't perform, you then get rid of them? Are you hearing what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have to get rid of people that you like. Because when you're a small business, we usually employ relatives. And sometimes you have to fire a relative. Fire them. Because it's the same relative. Are you hear what I'm saying? So fire them. So I fired relatives. Are you hear what I'm saying? But when it comes to my business, I am serious about it. Are you? Do you still want to be an entrepreneur? Can you handle the pressure? Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take 25 minutes of questions. We've got roving mics. Where are the mics? We've got mics there. With our Dr. S.M. Chirisa team. But let me say this as I close my presentation on mental health. Business is tough. Entrepreneurship is tough. And it takes a tough mind to be rich. It takes a tough mind. Let's go for questions. When you ask a question, you please stand, tell us who you are quickly so that we can get so many questions in. Any questions? You can ask about what I talked about or any business thing, even what we did not discuss today. Is that a question? Is that a hand? Please lift up your hand if you want to ask a question. We've got a question here. One. We've got a question there. Two. Do you have a question this side?
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. I'm Percival Daniel Nyangwindi. Okay, so my question, Doctor, is...
What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Okay, so I fix and supply steel doors, gates, and everything that is something to do with the house being covered after it has been built. Okay, basically it's all about security.
Okay.
So my question is, what's your take on following one's morals and integrity whilst running your business as an active entrepreneur? Because sometimes we are forced to, take some shortcuts and in the streets, basically, the rules are eventually someone is going to get it. So you would be like, well, if it's going to be somebody, it doesn't have to be me. So you end up crushing somebody and then you're forced to feel for them at some point, eventually.
All right. So this is an African sketch where we are saying, what do I do? I always say that you reap what you sow. And it's a matter of time. And if you want to last long, then work with integrity. Okay? Now, there are what are called connection fees everywhere. Somebody introduces you to somebody, they get a percentage. Even banks do that. When you get a loan to them, they get what's called establishment fee, 2%. It's normal in there. We did not know it, and we gave it another name. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So, introduction fees are normal everywhere. It's not stealing. Okay? But once you do, you have to do the things correctly. You understand what I'm saying? If you say I'm using 6 millimeter, use a 6 millimeter still. Don't use 3 so that you get the money. Because your business expands by keeping the customers you have and for those customers referring other customers. And It has also been said that a good experience by a customer, they usually tell 3 to 4 people. But a bad experience, they tell to 20 to 50 people. That's why when you do something bad, it spreads. When you do something good, only 4 people hear about it. So, but it's important to build. Some of us, we have built businesses. We have been, for example, our hospital opened its doors in 2006 in Chitungwes. Makoni 24 Medical Center. It's still there, still running, still going strong. And it's busy. We see 60 patients, 65 patients a day. Others came and closed, came because they were doing this, doing that. Say. No. Let's do the correct thing. People will know where the correct thing is being done. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So in this place, if you want to last long and so that you also enjoy your money in peace, work with integrity. You get what I'm saying? Once you get the business, once you say you can do it, then do it well. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And that's the best branding you can do to your business. So that's what I'm saying there. So, but if somebody introduces you, you give him their cut. That's normal business. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So if you want to hear, you say usula cut. Contact. Don't be greedy. You get what I'm saying? In fact, if you give them enough, more people will come. They actually will start to work as sales reps for you. Because they know they'll also get you. All right. Second question there. I hope I answered your question, young man.
Hello. Greetings, everyone. My name is Eric. I'm a commodity broker, finance broker. I'm a dealer.
Yeah, I was on no.
Issue yangu inini iliva kuti ndinoshanda nawo vari kunditi inini ndine issue kuti munhu akaita something chakashata handikwanisi kumusiya. I tell them on the spot. Mumwe wangu akadana nemusikana watinoziva asingaiti, I can tell them on the spot. Saka it's now messing up my business side because munhu iye hachandipi basa because nezvandakataura. But at the same time, morally inini I feel obligated to point out kuti iwo zvona zvari kuita hazvisi kuita. Saka what do I do? Do I keep my business? Do I keep business and keep business as business, or I tell munhu zvinhu zvakashata zvari kuita?
So, business is business. I treat Muslims. I don't care how they pray, what they pray, and what they don't eat. Are you hearing what I'm saying? At that moment, it's business. The people that I release my wisdom to, we must have a relationship. And if I speak to somebody and I see that this person is not accepting my counsel, I stop my counsel immediately. I don't enforce because it's not my space. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not my jurisdiction. I have got an area that I'm supposed to do that. So what you need to do is to know when and to have the boundaries. Are you at liberty? Because there are so many things that I see. Ndakaona munhu achifamba musiru akatofamba nemunhu womured speaker nokuti munhu iura siyana kwandakarohwa zvangu ndikuzinetsere chi ndinongoona ndoita se ndopfura. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But if it is somebody that I have got a relationship with, do you know this person? But if they don't listen, I also leave them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Business is business. So don't kill your business by trying to be a pastor where you are not the pastor. Do we have another question? Let's ask guys. When I leave this place, you can't reach me.
Good evening, Doc.
Yes.
Thank you for this masterclass, this opportunity.
No.
My name is Itai Gongera, and I'm buying and selling motorbikes and small vehicles. So I fix and repair these bikes and then I sell them. So my main problem I'm facing is I'm 20 years old. I'm staying with my parents at the moment. At the same time, I'm a student at Die Deutsche Schule, a German school. So I require a certain fee a week for me to be able to commute from home to school. So my parents know I'm doing this business of repairing motorbikes and stuff. The payment I'm getting, this was an idea I formulated on my journey to $10,000 because I have a bigger picture I'm trying to pursue. This has now become a merry-go-round because I'm raising money and then I'll go back because my parents will tell me like, you have your own money. Why don't you pay for your way to commute? It's as if I wish now I had kept it a secret from my family that I'm doing this and that and that and that. Because as a young entrepreneur now, I have indispensable cash. I can't use my cash. I don't have any money to use. I'm on a journey. How do I come about this?
So when I started my business when I was in third year, I started making more money than my parents, but I did not tell them. Unotanga kupuwa kama responsibility. Ne man. So ndozo waite. Why should I give you money? This is what you are now making money. You get what I'm saying? So you were supposed to guard the information and say, "Good, I'm still starting." After 2 years, I'm still. You understand? So once you say, so what you need to do is what my advice for you is that you let the cat out of the bag. What you need to do now is to go and sit down with your parents and saying, you know what, this thing is good, but it's taking a bit of my time. I might end up failing. So I'm going to have to cut this, bring it down a bit, but I will not be able to fund myself. You get what I'm saying? Or you tell them, I want to raise this amount. Please, can you continue giving me that allowance so that, because once I do this, you sell to them the vision, I'll be able to do more. And at that time, you don't have to give me. It's like you've got students who are working in outside the country and who are going to university. At some point, they start to help their parents, depending on the status of their parents. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah. So it depends. You have to sit down with them, talk to them about what you are planning. But you made the mistake. If you are here and you're starting a business, keep quiet, man, and get the two monies. Build your money there. For my parents, they're still going to pay you down with no business. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I was going to it's their contribution to you, and it gives you comfort to sort out this. Or you have to increase your money that you are making there, because it's going to be so difficult now to tell them that no, I'm saving my money. But you understand what I'm saying, so you have to discuss. Okay, next question. We have a question this side.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. My name is Prince. I'm into fitness. I sell and distribute fitness accessories, for gym and stuff. Okay, so my question is, I will try to, because I don't know what exactly to ask, but the question is around debt. So my question is, what is your take on businesses that start in debt? Or, okay, the thing is, okay, let me give you a background so that maybe the question can be understood.
1 minute background.
Okay. I began the business with debt because I didn't have money. Mm-hmm. So now the problem is that when that man that I got at first, I invested it. And then now the profits came, but then still when I began to pay those people, you seem as if you are now also going bankrupt. Someone gives you a debt again. So it's now, I feel like I'm now addicted to debt. So the question that I have here is that now I'm feeling like I'm struggling to get out of debt, because clearly the business on its own is doing well. If there was no debt, I think I should have been somewhere now. If I was using my own money. But now still if someone offers me money again, then they put a small interest. Sometimes I just can't refuse.
All right. Thank you.
All times, not sometimes.
Thank you. I'm sure you are not the only one with such a problem. A lot of people have got debt. I don't want to embarrass you and say, lift up your hands. But I can see it on your faces that Zkweret is Ziripo. Are you hear what I'm saying? But here's the thing. When you start a business, the general thing is don't start a business with loan sharks because the interest is too high. Any interest above 20% and above 15, 20 to 20%, 30% per month per chakuti is difficult for any business to make it. In fact, the interest of loan sharks are designed for you to lose whatever you put as security. It's a matter of time. You understand what I'm saying? So what you need to do is, maybe we will discuss it one of these days when you say, how do you fund your idea? So you fund your ideas from family, friends, fools. Okay, it's there, the 3 F's. Why you want to go with family is because family, they will give you money and actually want you to succeed. They will probably not give you an interest. They will give you good, repayment methods and all those kind of things. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Your friends will do the same. What we then do is, if the business is doing well and you don't actually want debt, you bring in an equity partner. And say, I've got this idea, it's working, but I need this amount of money. If you bring this amount of money, you get 30%. They put in, plug the hole, but you are now sharing profits. The problem with most of us, we would rather be 100% owner of a rat instead of 10% owner of an elephant. So if you look at most of my businesses, I do have partners who brought in money and I gave them equity. Most of us, our mind is not yet matured to deal with equity. Because when you are now dealing with equity, things have to be straight. You cannot be taking money from the till. Accounts need to be done, and you are living from a salary. Okay, so you need to design your mind to do that. So if I were you with that and the business is truly making money, because one of the things we're saying, if your company continues to be in debt, it's either you are living beyond your means, which means that you are causing your company to sustain a lifestyle which is not commensurate with the income which is coming. So it drives debt. And that's what most entrepreneurs do. They live beyond what the income. So it's either you cut down your expenses. You look at your expense line, look at the top 10 expenses, what are they? Can I cut them down? Can I cut them down and pay this debt over the next 6 months, over the next 12 months? Whatever I've cut down, I don't take it. I take it to extinguish that debt, and then in 12 months I'm free, and then I can come back again. But most of us, we don't want to do that. We want to maintain our life. We want to maintain umbingarism until we die. The other way is you then look and say, how much debt do I have? Can I get a better debt arrangement? Banks are better in that because they'll give you 10, 15% over 24 months, and it's a better arrangement than to give you somebody who's charging you per month. Are you hearing what I'm saying, somebody? Okay. The other thing that you can also do is what we did is to look and say, what is it that is in my environment that I have? Maybe you've got 2 cars, 2 fridges, and the other fridge is just creating ice blocks. Sell it and cover the debt. If you've got a car, you can downsize, Get out of debt because debt will give you stress. You understand what I'm saying? I have used debt, but usually what I do is when I'm using debt, I will use debt that can be paid with my current business, even though I'm investing into a new business. I'm not waiting for the new business to be able to pay the amount that is needed for repayment. Are you getting that? So I'm saying, right now, if this business that I'm starting with, this debt does not work, am I able to pay with my current income? And that's my debt limit, what I'm able to pay with what I already have. Because if you depend on this, most of the times, it's 50-50. You get what I'm saying? And you might end up losing the whole business. So if I were you, I would look at those options and see which one, but then you go out of debt. Don't say I want to get out of debt tomorrow because it might be too big. Go and negotiate with the people and say I'm willing to do this, and you stick to it. Downgrade, look for other ways to do that. But you don't want to keep too much debt in your business. Because if you've got debt and you're paying, the owners of the business are the people that have got the debt. You are really just working for them. Okay? I want a lady, yes. Can you give you where's the mics? Okay.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Hi, Dr. Chalisa.
Yes.
My name is Vinasha Muzua, so I work under INSPA. I won't talk much about it. So my question might be a little bit different. So I personally, I am dating an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is I just grew up in a family where it was a point of you going to school and you succeed just in the line of going to school and not doing business on the side. So me dating an entrepreneur now is becoming an issue because I'm now trying to venture into his line of business of being an entrepreneur as well. But it's taking time for me, but at the same time he's not seeing me as if he gets it or understands. But personally, I've been a person who has been to school, and I think if it's school, after school, I'm going to university, what, not doing like a side business. So I've started a business, and it failed because Ndagambova, like what you were saying. So I didn't get to tell him because I was feeling good, he doesn't believe in me that much. And also recently I've started a business in town, opening up Runita Hair and Cosmetics. So I actually told him, and he's like, the business Rawatanga, it's not good, it's an idea or Isa. That's how he's putting it. So how exactly can I handle it? Because, I'm sorry, it's something he himself, I know, comment to other ladies, wanting to make it. So it gets to me, because you're like, wow. You're like, I'm actually trying to venture into his line of work.
Did you want to answer this?
I'm actually,
All
actually
right.
trying to venture into his line of work, being entrepreneur or what. So
All
how
right.
best can I actually came with them. It's like, how best can you actually handle?
You guys, you need relationship counseling.
So
All right,
I know
okay,
my
no, that's
question
fine.
is different. I know my question is different, but as ladies, we really want to be motivating to our guys. But at the same time, the guys that we date also have to have an understanding that we also need that sort of motivation.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, so I think that's so there are two scenarios here, or two possibilities. There are some guys who want to be the provider. And then they say to you, go and work, don't worry, I'm the one who's going to be running around. Because it feeds their ego. You get what I'm saying? While it is okay to have that, my only challenge is that what if you die in an accident? And your wife is just a danda at home. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Doing nothing. Immediately, your children will plunge into chaos. So that model of thinking works in a perfect world where everything is. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But in the real world, it's a dangerous one because if anything happens to the guy or to the husband, everything changes. And most of them, they actually go really. In fact, you know what? A few days ago, we were going to South Africa with Pastor D. And so the person opened and said, doctor. Then he opened Pastor D, lawyer. So this is a good combination. Because that is often that for security person. I'm a combination I gotta say. And dog I'm a combination ma one. That called chase guns. Mdara agafaka. Ma one. Goes to Mdara, Chaku finance, the guy, the lady. I'm going to body and kids. You get what I'm saying? So that model is dangerous if the person dies. And we have all seen that, how life changes. So that's why we believe. I also say that when you are early, I believe in, we're out of time, but let me just wrap this so that we can understand. I recommend blended scenarios where somebody is at work and one is an entrepreneur. Because especially when you are starting, entrepreneur sometimes has got ups and downs, it's not consistent. You can make money today and not make money for the next 3 months. But because the other person is in a steady, it steadies the ship until the entrepreneurship is strong enough to be steady. It takes time. That's why you need to read that book, 10,000 hours, which is 10 years. It takes a long time for the ship to be steady. Okay? But while you are doing that, you who is working, develop the entrepreneurship mindset. So that when you make the switch, you don't become a drag to the one who is already running. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So it's important for you to then learn together and also discuss what is happening, know what is happening in the business. So for me, what I did with Pastor D, she sits on our meetings, she knows what we are doing, but she runs her own business. Okay? So there are some models where husband and wife are running the same business. It might work for others, it might not work for others. Find what works for you. Or you run different businesses. Or one is working and the other one is blended. It also depends on your age and on the resources that are at hand. Because for me, it doesn't make any sense to have a small little business here, small little business here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And all of them are struggling. Focus on one, make it work while you know what is happening. Don't be left out. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you both need to develop your entrepreneurship mind. I believe that even those who are at work need to develop the entrepreneurship mindset, even when you are working. That's also how you rise to the top. Okay? But the thing is, focus on the business, do it, develop your mind, learn. The more you come to these meetings, I'm sure those small problems will be easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. We are out of time.